We've got some comments from Liam Hendriks to Alex Spear of WEEI, and we'll start here. There were a couple games where it was like I was the last guy in the bullpen. It's a new experience for me. I felt like I had been pitching well to get trusted in a couple of those situations, and it didn't come to fruition. We had a couple chats. I got in there today, and it didn't quite work out. I feel like I haven't been pitching enough. If you want me to be me, I've got to pitch. I'll rust before I wear out, and that's something. But at the end of the day, I've got to reward them for throwing me by getting guys out. If I'm not doing that, I don't deserve to pitch. Alex Cora addressed the comments and said, we have to use him. That's on me. That's on the pitching department. We've got to trust him. There's a reason he's here. Been there, done that. Right now, numbers wise, he's been solid. The fastball's trending up, which is great. He's been able to bury the slider and the curveball, which is great. We have to use him. AJ, thoughts on this?
Okay, first of all, Alex Cora is saying it's on the pitching department. Aren't you the manager? Don't you make those decisions? Who comes into the games? Also, he has a 5.5 ERA. So to say like he's getting guys out, I don't know about that. 5.5 ERA out of the bullpen, that's usually not getting a whole lot of guys out because unless he's coming in with all clean innings, he's also torching other dudes' runs too. So let's not forget about that. But like, you've been hurt. Like when he says I'll rust before I wear out, he's been hurt. And I know he had cancer, but he's also had his arm worked on a couple times. So, like, dude, just be happy that you're getting to pitch. Like until you can go out and prove and you get 4 or 5 scoreless outings in a row, then you're not going to get higher leverage situations. Guess what? You might have to be the 26th guy until you work your way back up to that. So far, I mean, I'm looking at his numbers right now. He's 0-1 with a 5.56 ERA. I mean, there's not really any way I can look at this and say, man, I don't know. I don't know. A lot of walks, he's still striking guys out, but I don't know. Sometimes you just got to work your way back to that. You've been out for years. You got to get back into it. That's it.
His last 2 outings really ballooned his ERA. He gave up 5 runs in his last 2 outings, 2 and 3. Before that, he was doing well, but he also really didn't pitch. He pitched on the 10th of May, then 4 days off, didn't pitch, and then on the 21st, he pitched again. So it's a lot of days off. But this is the bullpen life. Bullpen, all the time we talk about starters not going long enough because the bullpen's going to get worn out. Oh, bullpen guys are throwing too much. Then when they don't throw enough, oh, we're not throwing enough. We're stay rusty. This is what goes on, and this is why, honestly, it takes a saint to be a bullpen coach. You can't just hang out down there and hear these dudes constantly, I want to get in the game. I want to get in the game. I am throwing too much. What are they trying to do? Wear us down. Like, it's a fine line for a manager to constantly be like, okay, I got to talk to all these guys. These guys are pissed. They're happy. They're always this and that. To me, Cora's saying this is the pitching department. Like, the pitching department has to make sure this happens. Like, I don't know. Why? Why the pitching department? You're the manager. You get paid way more than the pitching coach.
I'm curious about the hierarchy, not in Major League Baseball.
Hold on, before we get into this, but Liam Hendriks isn't like the 8th inning guy. He's not the closer, right? He's a guy that's still coming back from injury. So unless you're the closer or a super high leverage guy, then you're not going to have a defined role. You just got to kind of pitch when you get to pitch. I mean, I'm sorry. He's a veteran guy. I mean, I know he wants to pitch every other day or whatever, but if the game doesn't dictate that, then they're not going to put him into that game. If it's a 1-0 game in the 8th inning, Liam Hendriks hadn't earned the trust yet of Alex Cora and the pitching department to be into that game. That's just the way it is.
FT fam, let's talk about the HOF app. If you're into parlays, but sometimes you're missing the mark more than you would like to, can I introduce you to some serious analytics on an app that is easy to read and comprehend? And I'm sitting next to a man who knows how to place a parlay.
Yeah, and the biggest thing is breaking down a parlay with this Hall of Fame app. There's the situations that you'll find easier to do. It's very helpful in understanding. And if you like, gambling, sometimes this is really good to know. So get on there, get on that Hall of Fame app and check it out.
Yeah, this is info that will help you, okay? With a 4.9 rating in the App Store and over 6,000 5-star reviews, safe to say that HOF has already helped a lot of people bet smarter. For a limited time only, FT listeners can get a 7-day free trial and 50% off their first month when they use code FOUL at checkout. Download the HOF app on iOS or Android enter code FOUL, and you're all set.
AJ, do you get the vibe that Alex Cora is pretty straightforward? He's got dirt in his spikes now, managing this team for a bit, including a World Series title, and he's able to point things out that other teams would be a little more hidden about. Like, yeah, there's a pitching department that includes the front office, and they go over usage. There is lineup decision making. There is, where do we put Devers, or who do we put at first base, right? There is internal dissension. Dissension's okay, right? Debate's good. You don't want yes men all around your organization just saying yes to one person. So how do you think the dynamic's working here? I feel as if Cora and Breslow have healthy debates, and then Cora will just kind of lay out, or maybe in a little bit of hidden messaging, lay out that maybe one person wants Liam to pitch more, one doesn't. One person wants Rafael Devers at first base, one doesn't.
Yeah. I mean, he does it. He does it subtle ways. He does it very, not out front, he just is kind of subtle and takes his little, boop, 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 here and there. But, listen, he's won a World Series in Boston, so not many guys can say that. So he can do that.
Yeah, I like it.
He has some cachet. And I know, Scott, you like that. But is that going to be his downfall, that he's like taking a little kind of pot shot at all the people? Because there's a lot of people giving him information that I'm sure a guy who knows a lot about what's going on is like, why are you telling me this? I know for a fact that the organization came to him after the year that they won the World Series and said, had you followed our pitching recommendations, the ERA would have been a half a run lower. And if you look back at the 18 team ERA, it was pretty good. But it was like, I think there's some jabbing back and forth. But every manager gets their sheet. It's about this big. Every manager gets their sheet, and they go, pitched, and it's like how many innings they've pitched, how many, like the previous 5 days, and then how many pitches, and then it's like green and red, and the columns are available, not available. And you kind of have to follow that because they believe that that is health and not health for pitchers. If you don't follow that, it's set out by people who the organization usually believes are smarter than the manager.
Yeah, it's your bullpen card right there. I mean, my thing is AJ probably saw some of that, and it worked out for one season for sure in 2005, right? Kenny Williams and Ozzie Guillen would disagree on things, AJ, and they still found a lot of success. Disagreement
is not always a bad thing. It's not,
yeah,
because you can learn new things. As long as you're willing to listen to the other person, then it's not a bad thing. It can't be, and I think that's one thing that's happened to some certain organizations, and we can look at the records and choose them, but they're always like, oh, yes, you're right. You're right. You're doing this the right way. Oh, I'll just, internally move up somebody because they were telling me what I wanted to hear. And now I'm going to put them in charge because they make me feel like my opinion is right. And we see it in organizations, and you got to have somebody there to tell the person who's in charge, hey, maybe this isn't the right move. But a lot of people don't like that because if they're in charge, they want people to say, yes, you're doing the right thing. And it's not always the best.
Yep. There's a lot of companies and even leagues that are like that, where you just have a bunch of yes men, and then it leads to demise or at least to less productivity. It is what it is.
Hey, everybody. Be sure to like and subscribe for more content.
We're back here every weekday, all year long, so do not miss an episode.
The videos are coming in all day. Here's another video you might enjoy.
Baseball the way it should be covered.